Have you ever played against any of these guys?
I mean, I played with Koikwa and Yapsor, and yeah, I've played against Era and...
So who's the best? Rank it, dude.
Wow, I think that's hard. It's, you know, different roles, so it's kind of hard to say.
Okay. That's the PG
that's
answer.
the cop-out.
Yeah, that's the cop-out.
We can take a look at what these teams have in store for each other as we are in the draft of game number 1. No Diggity will be starting off from the Dire side with Virtus.Pro from the Radiant side, and so far Lone Druid, Nature's Prophet removed by Virtus.Pro, and Chen removed by No Diggity as they're thinking about their last ban here before Virtus.Pro can pick.
Yeah, not very surprising here. We see this Lone Druid ban. Koikwa does play a very good Silo Bear, and also they've played, I think even Kesu plays Lone Druid, and they like putting Lone Druid on mid. No Diggity, from what I know. And they like their Fury as well, so no surprise there.
Oh, look at that.
Wow, that's an old picture.
There he is, yeah.
Wow. That is a very... He lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, he did.
Can I say that?
Yeah, he did.
I can say that without being me, yeah. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, as long as you say that they've lost a lot of weight, that's being very nice.
No, because he looks so different.
Yeah.
He does. Anywho...
Sorry.
OD and Invoker being our first two classic picks of this patch.
It's gonna be a great game, guys.
No one was surprised.
Yeah, but yeah, we could glean something out of here, you know. Unless, of course, it's one of your standard boring picks, like a Lion. Ugh, is a Lion just the most boring hero, dude?
Lion? Oh, I kind of like Lion. He's quite... I think it's a nice hero to watch.
He's a bit of a playmaker.
Yeah, he's that kind of playmaker, and it's one of those support heroes that can actually do things on his own. I mean, and if not alone, then he can set up a lot of ganks for his team. I mean, with his skill set, he has a lot of kill potential, even on, you know, carry heroes and whatnot. So
I guess he also stops a lot of fights from happening, and that's maybe the reason why you don't like him, because he is very good as a defensive support as well. But especially like at the start, he doesn't have a blink dagger. He's gonna be the playmaker once he gets the blink dagger. But that's
I mean, play-wise, he's entertaining, but just character-wise, he's a boring.
Oh, you were talking about
all he talks about is
you're talking about the lore stuff.
Let me set this up for you. All right, you're making a team out of 5 of the most legendary heroes from across time and space. There's demons, there's satans, there's everything you can imagine, gods. And you're gonna take a guy that went to hell and then came back. That's literally all. That's it.
But didn't he go back to hell and then back
and then he came back again? So you could have the leader of hell or a dude that went there and came back.
I've been on a holiday and all I got was this lousy t-shirt.
And it was this horrifying hand. Just a look at that boring ass line. I called it for once. Got it, VP. And what a snoozer on the lore that guy is. But hey, what are you gonna do?
That is the only lore that there is?
That's literally, he's a demon betrayed him and he went to hell and grabbed the demon's arm and it came back. Welcome, that's it.
10 seconds.
You know?
So he went to hell, he had his own arm, but instead he grabbed the demon's arm?
The demon betrayed him. Instead of give him powers, and then he did give him powers, but it cost him his looks or something. It made him all ugly, so he's like, I'm gonna go rip that dude's arm off and replace his arm with mine. And that's where the stinky pinky came from, dog.
Oh, the finger of death.
Yes.
All right.
How do you know it was a pinky?
Huh? That's just what I like to call it, you know, because that's the polite way to finger a death. Gyrocopter! This is... Thank you, production. Woo, what a great segue. Gyrocopter. Look at that GPM, baby. She is banned out. No gyro here today. But we do have a Faceless Void. Anything to talk about with that? I mean, he's a pretty standard guy to go with Invoker these days, right?
Yeah, he has good synergy together with the Invoker. I think Kesu has played quite a bit of Void. I wouldn't really be surprised if No Diggity want to pick up the Enigma, or even if Virtus.Pro ban it, because they have been running a lot of Enigma. I know Yapsor likes playing the hero, and I think he had some good showings with that hero as well. So it's one hero to look out for, I would say, for Virtus.Pro. They like running this Enigma, Faceless Void, 2 big cooldown ultimates, but you know they can lock you down even through BKB, and just also good with the Invoker.
What is the best point to pick an Enigma if you're planning on going for it?
Usually it's 4th pick, I think. 4th pick, and then because then you can see that they won't counter it with their supports, most likely. You know, you can avoid some of these Venge, Silence, or Rubik type heroes, or
but should you then not already, like, you kind of want to already ban something out, maybe?
Yeah. So you in the second phase, in the second ban phase, you ban out kind of some heroes potentially that are counters to it, or you just let the enemy pick their heroes so that you know they don't have that many heroes left to pick. Then it's kind of hard for them to counter the Enigma.
Okay. I really want to see Enigma. That's why I bring it up. as well.
Indeed, I love Enigma. His average GPM, a strong 420, and he'll be coming out maybe. But yeah.
And also another hero for no Diggity that they might want to pick up is the Witch Doctor. Also good synergy together with the Void. We've seen Empire run the Void, Witch Doctor, Invoker several times, and yeah, it's just a very standard combination. The Death Ward in the Chronosphere and Witch Doctor overall a very good support.
Indeed, indeed. Well, we've got a Drow Ranger ban and a Beastmaster. Yes!
There it is. It's third pick. I mean, they're still Rubik, they're still Avenged. They picked it very early. Do you think they're afraid that Virtus.Pro might have gone for it?
No, I don't think so. I just think that they feel really confident in their Enigma. So it's more like they picked this Enigma and it's like, yeah, okay, what are you gonna do about this Enigma? You know, how are you gonna counter this? It's more like that.
It's a bit ballsy.
Oh no, it's not ballsy, man. You get that nice chrono and then boom! You can't do it. You can have all the counters you want. If there's 5 dudes in the chrono, nobody making it out into the black
including
hole.
Enigma.
What?
He's gonna be stunned in the Chronosphere as well. No, I mean, like, there easily can be a Rubik or a Venge that is outside of everything that's happening. That can, you know, it's Vengeful Spirit is not only good against Enigma, but it's also good against the Faceless Void, because if your teammate, if your carry is getting chronoed, you can swap him out and sacrifice yourself. So why would you not pick a Vengeful Spirit here?
I mean, that might be the thing, though. Like, if they pick a Venge, they have OD, Lion, and Venge, then they have very little outpush. And if no Diggity then decide to push together with the Enigma, with Forge Spirits, they're gonna have from the Invoker, and then the Eidolons from the Enigma, they have a Void to set that up, you know, so that when they push, they can just go for these towers. And Virtus.Pro are gonna be forced into an engagement, and if they don't have any ways of initiating, that fight could be really difficult for them. So it could be something like, you know, they want to bait them into picking heroes that are countering the Enigma, and then they actually have a plan to deal with these type of heroes. So
yeah, we've been talking about that a lot, right? Teams that are picking in response to other teams in this patch seem to not really be winning. They get spooked. So you put out an Enigma, and you hope to spook, but it's not. They're not spooked at all. They're going to go for Enchantress, who doesn't do anything about Enigma.
Well, to some extent, he kind of does, because the idea of Enchantress is that you put a lot of pressure on early game in the lanes, and when you have an Enigma in the jungle, then it's going to be kind of difficult for you to deal with this Enchantress, and it could even be difficult for the Enigma. If the Enchantress should decide to run at the Enigma into the enemy jungle, then he can just chase that Enigma around. Now, what's good about Enigma in this patch is that the recent changes with the jungle, where there is now another creep camp, the one near the Ancients, it means that the Enigma can almost always go to a creep camp, you know, not bothered at the beginning of the game, so he can get some levels for free. This is why I think that no Diggity like this hero now in this patch.
Yep. Well, we're definitely seeing a purple strat coming out from no Diggity. We got Bane, Enigma, and Faceless Void. A Witch Doctor would certainly be a good roundabout for that last pick.
Well, I mean,
they don't want to support.
Yeah, they need a support hero.
No, I'm talking about mid Witch Doctor.
Oh, okay, yes, in that case, it would be brilliant. Actually, Syndren is a player that used to run mid Enigma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he's one of the few players that I actually saw in a professional game play that hero mid, and he won.
It was no joke.
There were people coming to gank him, and instead of him dying, he got a double kill.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ember Spirit, there's a hero that I have not missed. We don't see a lot of people picking Ember Spirit in this league.
You don't like Ember?
He just got overplayed in Pro Dota matches for me, but he's still a great hero, and he's very fun to watch, especially with the rapiers. What do you think about him?
Yeah, no, I really like seeing Ember played. I mean, it's one of those heroes where it's very do or die, you know. It's a hero that if you actually pull off the plays, then the hero is very good, and you can, you know, you can blink out of Chronospheres, and I mean, you can remnant out of a lot of things if you time it well, so you're there, you know, before the spell is there. And yeah, it's one of those flashy heroes with high risk, high reward kind of stuff, and I just think it's a nice hero to watch.
Yeah, well, we haven't been seeing him much lately. Any ideas for why, and especially in DreamLeague?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to play Ember mid in this patch because of all the heroes, the Death Prophet, OD, Invoker. He just doesn't do very well against those. He can never really aggro on them in the lane. He needs a lot of support to actually be able to do so, and he doesn't really push that well. Ember is one of those heroes, he needs other heroes so that you can actually push, unless you just want to take it really late game and then fight from there. So it is a safe lane Ember, and there are just a lot of other heroes. Like, you see the Sven, for example, he's also a hero that's pretty good at dealing with this Ember Spirit. At least in the early game, you know, you push with the Sven, and you have this Warcry that's really good against the Ember Spirit because of the Sleight of Fist, how it works.
Yeah.
So armor helps against that. And yeah, so I just think there are heroes that are played right now. They're kind of good against Ember Spirit. Lion is one of those heroes that's also good against Ember Spirit. Now VP have picked up that hero for themselves, so that might maybe be why they get the Ember Spirit.
The long con. All right, Sheever, so what are we looking for here? What's the last position?
We're looking for a carry for No Diggity and an offlaner for Virtus.Pro, assuming Enchantress is going to be roaming a bit.
A carry for No Diggity.
Carry for No Diggity, so...
Could be a Tiny, potentially. I know Era likes to run that hero. It's also really good against 3 other heroes, the Ember Spirit, Enchantress, and Lion. Bone Fletcher, also another hero. This lineup is very similar to what Empire ran the other day against Virtus.Pro when they beat them in the first game.
Yep.
And yeah, so maybe No Diggity watched that game and saw that this is just a solid lineup. And
granted though, but no, Vegas doesn't have a really easy pickable guy except for the Lion. They don't have a Wisp, so it's not going to be any 2 shots on this team, maybe. But
I mean, Bone Fletcher he's good against Enchantress. Obviously, the Strafe is nice to have against Enchantress passive in the early game, and he does deal a lot of damage, so it's kind of hard for Odie to turn and man fight on a Bone Fletcher. And they have this control coming out of the Void, the Bane, and the Enigma, and then just have Invoker and Bone deal damage from range.
So you want a glass cannon?
So
I guess. I mean, Klinks is a little bit of a glass cannon.
Absolutely.
Yeah, to some extent. It's just, I mean, with the Death Pact, he is quite tanky, so it's kind of hard for Virtus.Pro to actually turn and start fighting the No Diggity lineup just because of all the spells that they have to counter.
All right, an Earthshaker. There's a hero I don't think we've seen yet in DreamLeague. I don't know. I don't have my notes in front of me, but pretty sure not.
That was a while ago we saw that hero. And I'm curious if it's going to be a support or an offlane Shaker here.
Depends on Enchantress. I want to hear it, guys. Who's going to take this first game?
I would say No Diggity takes this.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Stronger lineup?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think
All right,
they're going to take this.
I'm going to have to agree. I'm always a fan of that Wombo combo. We got the Void and the Enigma. How are you going to escape that?
I kind of wanted to pick No Diggity, but now I feel like I'm obligated to go for Virtus.Pro. I'm going for Virtus.Pro because I don't want us to be all going for the same team. I really like the Enigma though, and I really think No Diggity has the good shot to make this game a win for them. We're going to find out what our commentators think as it is time for our first game of the day. Virtus.Pro, No Diggity with Odie Pixel and Draskell.
5 seconds remaining.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome over to the casting panel. I'm Odie Pixel, I'm joined of course by Draskell. We're ready to take you into the first series of the day. It is No Diggity versus Virtus.Pro. The game is underway, and Andy, let's have a look at this. Well, we're seeing some funky stuff here, and FNG back on the Shaker.
I really like the Shaker in this game, actually. One of the common problems that you run into when you play against this double AoE control ulti lineup that No Diggity are running is you really need a hero who doesn't ever have to commit to the fight. It's like a Shaker is really good because you can sit in the periphery and just throw out fissures to stop a black hole. You can throw it out on the Void to prevent it from dealing damage inside the sphere. You can use it to cancel grip. It's very similar to how a Disruptor plays, except I believe that Shaker has more teamfight impact once he has his core item picked up, which is obviously the Blink Dagger. So I think it's a nice way to round out VP's lineup, and it's kind of a fail-safe for them. Just in case that black hole hits and YapzOr gets 2 or 3 targets, you have a very easy way of stopping it.
Yeah, I've got to say as well, I think YapzOr's Enigma, we've seen it a few times here at DreamLeague, at least once, and I remember having a really good game on it. I mean, this man, this is definitely one of his heroes that he's shown us that he can shine on, especially with the way that No Diggity play around it. So I think, yeah, we can expect a lot of good things here from the Enigma this game. But, I mean, overall draft versus draft, on the panel they were saying that they felt No Diggity's just kind of the synergy was really there. But for you, you feel that VP definitely have their strengths with this lineup.
Oh, for sure. It's not that VP's lineup isn't strong. There's just this feeling of if VP have a bad early game, you're going up against this Klinks who's going to have a ton of health. Ember is not very good single target damage at all. So I think he has a really rough matchup against the Klinks for most stages in the game. And then, yeah, you could say that VP have this Ench, Lion, and OD to fall back on, but they're the ones who have to really worry about like the Chronosphere and the Enigma. So the execution, I think, for VP is going to be harder, but I do think that their lineup is very capable of winning.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this matchup goes for Quaifa. We saw G on the OD yesterday up against, I can't remember who it was, but it was an Invoker once more, and we saw G just absolutely dominate the lane. I mean, I guess it can be expected with these two heroes. But nonetheless, it's going to be interesting to see how much Koifa can find before he's maybe even forced to back out and look to take something from the jungle. But of course, Yapzor, he is going to be one living there and setting up base camp. So there's not really going to be that potential for the Invoker to leave the lane with the Forge Spirits and look to farm elsewhere, unless Yapzor's making action happen around the map.
I think he's been more active than most Enigmas that we've seen in DreamLeague, so it's possible that he starts rotating, and for sure, once he hits 5 or 6, he'll probably be making his way to a lane to try to have some kind of impact, because if you can smoke with one other support and Nightmare, you know, G into a black hole, that's really hard to deal with. You're going to need a TP, and Quake the mid here.
Indeed, and we're seeing just the power of the OD, and of course, well, the Ench does help with the Purge Creep, and the setup there for the Stumper and the Astral. I mean, that's all. I think it was you speaking about it earlier, just how having 1 point in it can just easily set up a gang.
That ability needs to be nerfed, actually. It's so broken
it's
that
such
you can...
an easy gang.
If it was just a lower duration on lower level, it would be much easier to deal with OD in the middle lane. Because the thing that makes him so insane is the fact that he can just set up a gank for any hero.
Good stuff. See Koifa, he's going to kick back this time with a cold snap, forcing G back.
He's got a regen waiting for him now, top rune. That's pretty much mid lane 1, actually. Just that rune and obviously the first blood as well.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair to Koifa though, 2 minutes in, he's keeping up very well with the CS, but I guess it's at the earlier point, it's expected the Invoker finds something that once the OD gets certain amount of levels, then it becomes very hard for the Invoker to lane against.
Especially once he starts getting more points in the Arcane Orb, because he just starts like 2-shotting or even 1-shotting your Forge Spirits. It becomes really difficult for the Invoker to cope with that, but... I mean, it's okay if your mid loses a little bit, because you do have that Enigma who's completely free farming the woods right now. Like Yapzor, he's already halfway to level 5, and it's not even 3 minutes into the game, so his jungling is pretty good right now. And then you also have Kezu, who should be able to get quite a bit out of his off lane, already level 4 himself. So in regards to every other position, no Diggity are doing more than okay. It's pretty much just mid is the one spot where they might be suffering a tiny bit.
FNG at this point as well, he's level 3 on the Shaker, so he is finding that solo XP pretty nicely. Obviously a little bit harder for him than Void, Mr. Kezu, on the off lane for Diggity. But I guess these are two heroes that, in terms of what they can offer to a team fight, the Chrono obviously going to come online way before the Shaker's going to have a blink in store. I mean, how much can FNG really do for the team early on? Oh, this spell.
That was such a good Nightmare from Cinderin, actually. But not going to be enough, I don't think.
Yeah, with FNG coming in as well. Just actually asking you about how much you can do for the team. I mean, just simple rotations like that. Extra stun to help them find the kill. I mean, at this point, we're obviously seeing the Invoker really receiving a lot of hate. And we said earlier, how does he continue to lane against this? Does he need someone like Cinderin just to consistently hang around with him now at this point?
Well, what just happened was he Nightmared the Purge creep.
Yeah.
So that maybe it was possible for Quakefoot to walk away. But because of the fact that it's like No Fear knew that was coming, right? So he just A-clicks it, make sure he can get the Purge, because the majority of the damage comes from the Satyr and, of course, auto attacks from G, and they just kill him every time.
Oh, look at this as well. No Fear. He's giving it someone to Yapzor. Yapzor has got the backup of Cinderin, but he's still hanging around this end. She does not care. Mid lane, well, they're going in again, and FNG, a lovely Fisher, buying some more time for G and a lower dance to eat into Koifa. And I keep saying it, but what do you do to rectify this Invoker issue in the mid lane?
Yapzor needs a 6, I think, before they can do anything. Like you need a black hole to kind of counter-engage, or maybe a level 1 stun is probably not going to be enough to turn a kill on its own. You really need that extra disable on top of it.
Oh, and he's got the double stun it, and he's going to slow down Yapzor. Try and go for this for No Fear, but needs to be a bit careful with these Eidolons hitting into him.
They have like this double-pronged offense going on right now from VP. Like they're pressuring mid crazy hard, just diving on this poor Invoker over and over again. And they're stopping Yapzor from getting free farm in the woods simultaneously. So we were talking about how VP need to execute kind of this early game aggression, and they're doing it extremely well. They look to be much more on form in this early game than what we saw them yesterday.
I think it certainly feels for no Diggity. There's obviously going to be that point once Kezu does get the level 6 and Klinks gets his first big item. And of course, Klinks at the moment, 35 for 11. The CS is looking good for him.
Is he actually going Orchid?
Is he going Orchid first? Yeah.
Well, he bought
he's got Aquila. It's just for Aquila, I think. Yeah.
But he has Soul Ring already. Do you really need Aquila and Soul Ring?
Got to get that mana. Oh, bottom lane FNG just going to be off the point with that Fisher. Maybe seeing if he could set up something for a low-hard dance to get in. If they have got a fair bit of lockdown, of course, between the Shaker and the line. which I imagine would be enough for them to take down a faceless void within the duration, if they can time them correctly. Well, they're going to try again, and here we go. We're going to see it in action, and yeah, more than enough damage. Great play, great control from VP. YapzOr's actually come into this one, and now he's going to go for the black hole on FNG. Knows a lower dance, hasn't got any disabled. In fact, he can't get close enough, so they will get the kill with that one. Lower dance still hiding in the tree line now. Midnight Pulse, and well, we talked about YapzOr's Enigma play, how we can expect good things, and thanks to this man, he's just set up potentially 2 kills with a Fairy Fire. Oh, Sin! Nice brain sap from the purple bastard. And he will find that at the same time, it is Invoker going down again. This Invoker, blessing Quaither. And we've got to remember as well, Quaither, he's given us some really good performances. I guess that's one of the kind of saving graces for No Diggity, is this is a man who should be able to bring back a bad start. And bottom lane, No Diggity looking to punish the heroes that matter. And Yoku caught out by the Chrono, the backup is there. So No Diggity getting themselves on the board, 3 kills now against the 5 of VP. But it certainly is the fact that you've got this OD 3.8k net worth against the Invoker's 1600, more than double at just 7 minutes in.
The one nice thing about it, though, is if it's only one hero, that's a big threat. Look at the Sven game we saw the other day. When they were losing the entire game, the Sven has like 30,000 net worth, and they just throw all their ultimates on the Sven, and he dies. I think that can kind of happen here as well, because you have Black Hole, you have Chronosphere, and Fiend Script.
Okay, so he needs to be a bit careful. But the lockdown, is it going to be long enough? No. They'll still chase this one down. Kazu with the time dilation, and yeah, Yoku's popped a fair few spells, so the slow's good. That'll be enough to hold him back, and Eric coming in as well, just in case they went too crazy. Mid lane though, G, his kind of reign continues as he takes down a tower. More gold into the bank of this man.
He is rich.
Yeah, this is...
he's going to have like a 10 or 12 minute ATOS at this rate.
I mean, I guess on the plus side, obviously, No Diggity still have ways to kill the OD.
Yeah, of course. That's kind of what I was mentioning.
Still kill him.
They have so much lockdown that even if you're a little bit tanky, you can still very easily die as OD in this game.
We'll see if Cinnamon, he's walking into this, FNG. And put the Nightmare, Sunstrike, we'll clip him, and now, yeah, Arrow with a nice rotation. They'll take themselves that kill. Eyes onto Kezu at the bottom. You can see Yoku and Aloha Dance moving in, seeing if they can catch him out. He's going to keep it fine and safe, and he's going to give the space here for them to try and take a tier 1. Fortification should be too much of an issue, as VP will press on, find themselves the tower. And that's the second tier 1 they've been able to take from the side of No Diggity, so they're getting their objectives. And now, thanks to that, it is going to put the Ember back on par with Era's farm on this Clinks.
Everyone's got their 6s now as well on the side of No Diggity. So Black Hole is going to be up again at about 30. They get the off-lane tier 1. They have Fiend's Grip on top of that and Chronosphere. This is the point where No Diggity's lineup is more or less online. Okay, Stun's going to miss here on Kezu, so he'll be fine. That's way too aggressive.
I was going to say, Kezu's just going to turn and Chrono that every time, and with Era there, oh, that's a lovely finger! Aloha Dance does get the Void as he tries to go for a drive-by. He will pay with his life. So all in all, I mean, that was the Ember just sticking around too long, going a bit too ham. Aloha Dance kind of rectifies it by getting a kill, but still it's a trade that No Diggity, I'll be very happy with.
I'm not really sure why he felt like diving that was okay, because now they have this push going towards bottom lane where the mech is coming out right now for YapzOr. He has Black Hole. I mean, this little skirmish might have just lost them a tier 1, and you can even see the ward coverage here from No Diggity. They are clearly prioritizing this bottom lane. I just don't really understand why you would want to put yourself at risk like that, because Ember is very fragile in this game, where you die like a couple of times and then you have to play into mech, this Fiend Script from the Bane and whatnot, and it can be very difficult for you.
No fit. Jumping around here with his ace route. You've got Arrow trying to move in position behind. I mean, these are 2 heroes that, I mean, they're very susceptible to being taken down by a Clinks if as long as there's some kind of lockdown from a team member. They're still 6-6, No Diggity. Look to struggle in certain lanes at the start, but I think they'll kind of be happy with how this is kind of panned out as we hit the 10-minute mark. And Quaither does now have his Midas, so the catch-up potential for this Invoker is certainly there.
Oh, for sure. The Sunstrike kills helped him tremendously, because he was against the OD, he's still like a full level behind, and in terms of overall net worth, he's trailing G by quite a bit even at this point. But it's okay because of just the sheer amount of team fight that No Diggity have. It's fine for one hero to be a little bit behind when all he really needs are levels, and the Midas is obviously going to help a lot in that regard. Just make sure your Sunstrike and Meteor deafening combo does more inside of the sphere, and then having Black Hole still to follow that up. Still very dangerous for VP in this early game.
You can see Sin was hanging around there, just seeing if he could get himself in a position to make a move onto Yoku's end, but that's not going to be the case. Yoku, he's backed off into the jungle. Kezu, being given a bit of space to pick up the farm, and Koifa, of course, still just focusing on staying safe in the in his own jungle as Yapzor continues to farm. And this Enigma, of course, 4 assists. It's been a clean game from Yapzor so far. And he does have that black hole back available, so if they can try and find a way to use it, it might, just love to go for a bit of action in the mid lane. At the same time, though, it's a bit tricky. There's a lot of disables on the side of VP to catch out that Enigma. And we'll see what they can find here with the smoke, VP.
It's all just going to come down to the execution of the fight, I think. Like, it's very possible for VP to stop a black hole and whatnot, but how they engage the fight is going to be incredibly important.
Oh, here we go again. The Fisher to set this up, and we don't see a lot of Shaker, but this seems to work out as a great combination to deal with a Void. Just having that range of initiation, more than enough time to allow the line to close the gap, and as we can see, you're killing the Void every time.
Yeah, they kill the Void, but I think they have to get more out of this. I guess the answer is going to be just go for Roshan since there's no tier 1s in the area, but I think No Diggity are going to read this. They're already kind of teleporting in. They know that this is going to be the objective that VP are going for. It's just a matter of can they actually do anything about it. I guess their Void's respawning very quickly.
Yeah, 5 seconds, and there's a tier 2 to TP in. Yapzor smoked up. Does have that black hole.
That
yeah,
grip.
He's trying to go for it. The grip is indeed onto G, but there'll be an echo stamp coming out from FFG. They've already lost Dino on the OD, and oh, there's the black hole. It's a 3-hero black hole. It's beautiful, but they do lose Era. They don't have the damage follow up the side of No Diggity, and now VP still looking sharp with the Chrono coming through with Kezu again. Where's the damage to throw in? They will get a deafening blast through, but Loa does. He's still alive. He gets the sun out to Kezu. Yoku moving in with a flame guard. They found themselves their 3rd kill. They do find 2 in return. They want to try and find a Loa dance moving forward, but a Loa dance pops the 1 charges. He's going to be fine, and now Kezu's deep. Kezu may be in a spot of bother. He's got another time walk. FNG holding onto his spells at the moment, trying to get the perfect time. He knows he's going to time walk again in a second, and now how can they go for this? I mean, Kezu, he's deep. He's creating space as much as he can, but now the initial head stun has been caught out now with the Hex as well. They'll get it. I mean, No Diggity, it was a fantastic black hole and a fantastic chronosphere, but it was just aesthetic. There was just nothing to throw into it. It just happened, and they still couldn't win the fight with that.
Well, it was mainly because they dropped everything on the OD. So the Fiend Script came out from Cinder and onto G as soon as the fight started, and that's what kicked off the fight. And they dropped Midnight Pulse in the middle of the river. So those are actually 2 really big damage-dealing abilities that you just don't have access to from the Invoker. And then you have on top of that the Midnight Pulse that also was used on another hero. And they get the Courier as well in the black hole, so they like auto-attack the Courier once, and they just didn't have the Meteor follow-up that would have almost assuredly killed everyone on VP, because quite a few of them are walking away with low health. It's just a matter of they prioritized killing G and then had nothing left for the sphere.
Now VP back into Roche, and they'll take it. Aegis now on G. And making a beeline straight towards the mid lane. Kezu, he's got to be careful if they do catch him out with an initial stunt. And he's going to head the right way. Gets himself out of harm's way, and Cinderin still lies on the bottom lane. He's got that Fiend Script back off cooldown. Well, looks like VP sticking around mid. They want to try and fight. Koifa's been spotted out. They can't quite close the gap there with the Forge Spirits coming in first. And VP will fall back. But still 11 for 8. VP still with their GOD at the top. And it's closely followed by the Ember, but it's, Era and Yoku pretty much at the same level of farm. It's, as you said, it certainly feels like a game with a draft from both sides, that it's all about the execution in the fights.
At the beginning of that fight for No Diggity, it looked really good because they kill G before he does anything.
Yeah.
Like no ulti, no auto attacks, there was no save from VP. They don't have like this Venge, or they don't have, someone else to repel him or any sort of defensive mechanism. It's pretty much just FNG has to fissure the Fiend Script or the Black Hole, or it just gets a full channel. And that can be kind of difficult considering FNG still doesn't have Blink Dagger. As time goes on, it will be more difficult for Synderen to get those ultimates off. So in some ways, I feel the later the game goes, even though No Diggity have really good 5-man, we talked about it earlier, all FNG has to do is just sit in the back. It's such an easy Earthshaker game for him because the only things that he has to worry about are, okay, maybe hitting an Echo is nice, but canceling a Black Hole or canceling a Fiend's Grip is just as good.
We can see here on the bottom lane, setting up some action onto Koifa. They'll pop the Echo Slam. They're looking for the control, and they're going to do it. Nice play from FNG, allowing them to get that kill. I mean, FNG Shaker, the picks really worked out this game.
Yeah. I think a lot of people forgot what it's like to play against Shaker, so Aloha Dance should be dead here.
Well, he's going to try and play his way out of this one. We'll pop the dust, and now with the TP's in, can they catch out Era? They'll get the chains onto Yapzor. They will take down the Enigma. Era should be given the space to get himself out of there.
That's a not worth, though. That's a real not worth. You can't trade your Enigma for Lion. Like, that's just not enough. Sure, he's getting closer to Blink Dagger on the Lion, which is kind of nice to delay that, but... I mean, you just give away one of your highest net worth heroes. Can't forget how fast that hero farms and how much value he has.
And mid lane, G. He's looking to set something up, and while Yoku comes in with the bot, Cinder and fish it in the face. It's that we're seeing a lot of clean action from VP there.
That was such a good play by G2, realizing the creep was super low to tank him, because I think if it hits like 1 or 2 more times, that creep dies, there's no bots, and maybe they don't get the kill on Sin. Just synergy from VP today feels on point.
Yeah, obviously, as we said earlier, it was a little bit off in one of the games yesterday, but today, VP have turned up. At the same time, though, No Diggity, as we keep saying, they have got the potential to bring something back, but whoa! Gee, no mercy. Absolutely no chill. Just goes in, destroying Kezu.
That was the hammer equal dropped right there.
Yeah. It certainly seems to be one of the heroes that G has been having a lot of fun on this patch, the OD, like a lot of other pros, but G's performance, it's very much right on top of his game. 8-1-2, 100 CS, 17 minutes in, and nearly 10k net worth.
You give him a hero like OD that can not only win its lane, but have mid-game impact, you're going to have a good game for G. That's just how it works, especially when the Ench ganks the Invoker like 3 times in a row. You're setting this guy up for a phenomenal game, and honestly, I can't really say many more players, even in the Dota scene in general, that can do more with a lead than this guy can. Like, G is absolutely insane player.
Yeah, it's definitely all about that start, because likewise, we do see G suffering games where he doesn't have a good start.
Yeah, Courier Snipe maybe?
Oh, Era? Anything on the Courier at the moment?
Oh, he saw it too late, maybe. Can they move it? Yeah,
he's fine. Era, of course, with the Desolator, I mean, if they do get those Chronos and those Black Holes, they will be able to take down the heroes of VP fairly quickly.
I think we need to always remember that river fight by Roshan and understand how the lineup of No Diggity works. You have to pretty much save all of your Invoker spells for the Sphere, because it really feels like just taking one hero down in a Fiend's Grip isn't enough. Because in a drawn-out engagement, Lion, Ench, Ember, Shaker are good heroes. They have multiple disables. They're not ulti-reliant that much. I mean, sure, Finger is nice, Echo is nice, but in these long, drawn-out engagements, avoid auto-attacking with just treads isn't really that scary. And I mean, sure, an Enigma Black Hole that hits a couple heroes is great, but you really do need the follow-up.
We might see a kick-off down here as well. FNG has got the blink. No Diggity are in the neighborhood. They've got to be very careful about sticking around for this one. Kind of awkwardly spread out as well. Cindy's going to go for the TP out, but FNG with the Fisher will cancel it. They'll hex up the Bane, take him down. Sin, he'll be the one to tank this, and it looks like the rest of No Diggity will back themselves away. So it's just Sin going down there, but VP's jump now, very, very scary with that blink on FNG.
Game gets real hard for No Diggity now. The catch potential on VP is always going to be much higher, just because of the nature of their heroes. Sure, your Blink Void is nice, but Klinks isn't really a hero that I would say necessarily has catch. He can just kill very quickly. So catch is usually considered as a disable that starts an engagement, or, you know, making somebody die, I suppose. You go for like a Lion, blink in, solo gank, you know, that's catch potential. But Klinks functions a bit differently. He's not always just about starting a fight. He wants a quick pick, and unfortunately against VP's lineup, I don't really see them doing anything but 5-man when they're going to be pushing the base.
Oh, and again, Fisher into the line initiation, the BM Echo Slam. clipping the Invoker. Now they'll get the Chrono out. What can they throw into this? They do have a Black Hole available, but they don't need it. Fiend's Grip onto FNG to get themselves one. The tongue dilation causing havoc for a lower dance. They do take down the line as well. Again, though, it is a trade where they are losing their Invoker. So I think VP not going to be too kicking themselves too hard for that.
It wasn't too bad, in all honesty. Like, losing the 2 heroes, because the main thing is they both have their Blink Daggers already. So everything else they get on top of this is just going to be icing on the cake. Like, if your Shaker or Lion goes for 4 staff, or, you know, they get a Ghost Scepter for the Clinks, that's going to be nice for them too. But it's not like mandatory. Their core items that are 100% necessary are up and running, whereas the Invoker is still just sitting on a Yules and a Midas. Like, this probably is one of the worst games I've seen Quakefa have in a long time, in terms of his net worth, the impact that he's had in the game, and this is kind of what happens sometimes when you pick this Enigma. Your mid gets destroyed because of it. And the ironic part about it was they third picked Enigma, and they knew Ench was still in the pool, because they banned Chen themselves in the first 2, and then left Ench for an entire pick ban phase, and then picked Enigma after anyway. It's just kind of like, VP, come at us, you know? We don't care if you pick Ench. And they actually just got ruined in mid because of it.
Oh, alright. Scouting things out here for the side, and it's a good job he is as well, because VP are down at
Radiant's
all
bottom
4 of
tower
them.
is under attack.
And yeah, no Diggity's going to back up. Cinnamon was in the neighborhood. As now, of course, the BKB on Yapzor. BKB also for G on the OD. So we'll see if Yapzor does have the opportunity to hit some of these big black holes. And I guess, yeah, in terms of the lineup, there's obviously not a lot really that they can do once he pops his BKB and gets himself in the middle of the fight, other than kill him.
Yeah, I mean, they have a decent amount of damage through BKB, like Ench obviously with Impetus. But
yeah.
I think it's also one of those things where the BKB is fine, but you also kind of need Blink as well. That's when you become super scary on Enigma in this game, is when you have Blink and BKB. Because closing the gap as an Enigma with no Blink Dagger is really tough. You're basically just walking into the team fight with BKB on and hoping that you catch the heroes that you're looking for. When we're looking at like a triple Blink lineup with an Ember Spirit as well.
Oh, Aloha Dance jumps in with the Hex onto Kezu. You got G working on Sin on the backline. Sin turns around, pops the Fiend's Grip, but Sin, he gets taken down. Now you have Black Hole, it's onto G. They're looking to control the Odin there, will take him down. It's a good Black Hole, it's a big kill. And now no Diggity, move in for more. They get the Yules onto Yoku. Yoku, can he get himself out of this one? Who have the control to deal with him? Doesn't look like they do. Yoku will be able to walk this off. Kezu still eyeing it up, but there are remnants available for Yoku, and he's going to jump himself across. He's going to be fine. FNG still has an echo.
What, Kezu? What's Kezu doing? He had like 3 chances to sphere there and just like time walked the wrong way. Why are they so scared to fight right now? That's what I don't understand. They take down Lion before Finger, they kill G, and then Kezu just like bails. That was really weird. I think they could have gotten more there. Maybe he was scared to drop the sphere because of Remnants? I'm not sure. But I really think that No Diggity could have gotten much more out of that engagement than they did.
Radiant structures are
Yeah, I guess, yeah, must be as you said. Maybe he was worried that, yeah, the Ember was just trying to bait out the Chrono and was ready to get himself down to the low ground on the Remnant.
Well, either way, still a really good fight for No Diggity.
Oh yeah, getting G.
It kicked off perfectly because G's like so far in front of his team that no one can really help him. And then the Lion also gets picked off because of the positioning of Era. He was just sitting on the high ground and middle lane and just saw him, put a couple auto attacks, and he's just dead.
I mean, no fair. He literally is coming straight in. Sin, he's going for the TP FNG. They didn't quite find the vision of him by the looks of it, so they didn't know where to throw it out to. And Roshan is up here, and VP able to take it earlier. Looks like they're going to find this as their opportunity to go for it again. No Diggity. They do have the Chrono, no Black Hole. But I mean, even with just the Chrono, they definitely have the capability to contest this if they get themselves down in
need to TP their
time.
Invoker soon if they're going to contest. It's going to die. Yeah, okay, Quakefa's not coming. This is going to be tough to fight. Maybe they can go for a steal or something if Kezu doesn't get caught. He might actually just get caught. No, he's out. Looks like the lane ward might have spotted him for like a split second.
I mean, VP now with that Aegis. I mean, they could almost potentially go for just a bit of a play like they did before. As we saw, they did lose G, but say G had an Aegis in that situation, there's definitely the potential for them to turn that fight around. With Aegis and BKB, he, you know, once the big kind of crowd controlling ults are gone, like the Chrono and and of course the black hole, G can turn around and do a lot in these fights on the OD.
That's a good point you bring up, because Aegis is very strong against these big wombo combo teams. It's like, okay, if our black hole and sphere are down, our teamfight potential is crap. And if you have to use those abilities both to kill G, then it can be very scary for you. See Remnant away there from Yoku, just trying to bail. That Clinks does an insane amount of damage. I really like this hero against Ember, because if you look at his health, like 1800, 1900 health, Ember is not a good single target damage hero unless other stuff is standing around where the Ember is, right? Because your Sleight of Fist and the Battle Fury Cleave is what makes you hit really hard on single target, and he's only sitting on Battle Fury Blink. So there's no way in heck you're ever gonna man-fight a Clinks.
Oh, Quaifa catching out FNG here in the trees. FNG, can he play his way around this? Yes, he can. He's off. TP's. Oh,
okay.
Ketu. Instinct kicks in this time. He
The
will
ward,
pop
man.
the chrono.
The freaking lane ward. That is a sad moment.
It is indeed. I mean, that's, yeah. They'll be happy with that one.
There's the blink for Yapzor as well. Nice stuff. So now the Enigma is Spookville.
Incredibly scary, yes.
It's very interesting watching these types of games and just like the power curves that every hero gets depending on what stage it's at. And this is the point where Yapzor is going to have like free reign in these team fights.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Because
attack.
as you can see, Era spots them out going into the jungle. G
Radiant's
invised up at the moment, and now they get the Hex onto Cinder, and they're trying to fight Yapzor. Looking for Black Hole. No! Black Hole's the freaking dog. Oh no. It's a bit of a disaster if no Diggity. They need to be careful about looking to continue this one. As off the back of that, VP, they're laughing.
I'm pretty sure what happened was Yoku hit a Searing Chains on him, and it delayed his cast point on his ultimate like before he BKB'd, and then he black holed after not having hit stop or hold position or something, which obviously would cancel it, but it queues up when you get hit by a disable. So I think he just accidentally got animation canceled and just let it go and thought he was going to hit the Ember but didn't. That is a really unfortunate move though.
Especially now with this push, there's still no chrono. Kazu jumping in with the time dilation, but VP know that this is their chance to really go for it, see what they can take from the side of no Diggity. Well, don't do anything here against the OD. No, G, perfect blink. Jumps out of that. And they'll still be content in hanging strong, I'd imagine, as Aegis. Still
They
there.
got Sphere in 10, so he's got Meteor Deafening loaded as well.
Yeah. Let's see what kind of sphere Kezu can find out needs to use. 5 seconds and it's there. It's there now. He can find a big chrono. And he will. It's the 3-man chrono. The meteor coming down as well. Deafening blast onto Yoku. Yoku, he's down. 70 seconds. Beezgrip puts in. Holding no fit in place. But now the BKB. OD trying to turn around. He'll blow up the void with the Sanity's Eclipse. No fear. Jumping himself away. Will be fine. G still contemplating going back in on this one. It's just a 1-for-1 at the moment. But that is Yoku gone. Quite a high damage. Oh, FNG jumping in onto Era with the Echo Sound. The Fisher as well. Yapzor pops the BKB, starts to run. But FNG really just going ham at these points where it counts, and no fear, just left alive, kept alive by the Astral, jukes out the Sunstrike. Some really nice play here from VP as they maintain their strength. 21 for 15. Great call from FNG there.
Just realizing that Enigma ulti is still on cooldown. It's a very, very long CD, so that miss in the woods is just crippling them so much in these base defense fights. That being said, though, they still have not lost their tier 3 tower. This defense being pitted by no Diggity, they're spending a little bit of money for it, but they haven't had to buy back on anyone. And they still have their tier 3, which I think is okay, actually. Like, everything considered. And they killed Yoku as well, the Chronosphere coming out.
Yes, I mean, that's a big kill.
Yeah, this is one of those defense situations where obviously no Diggity are spending a little bit to make sure they keep their base alive, but with their kind of lineup, they can take it late. You know, they can go for the late game Chronosphere, Black Hole plays, and, you know, Clinks will deal enough damage on his own to be able to carry in that regard, and then you also have the Invoker to fall back on as well. So they're still very much in the game. It's just, you make another mistake like this whiffed Black Hole because of Searing Chains, and then you could lose a Rax next time. It's not always going to be so forgiving.
Yeah. It's, yeah, as you said, as this defense goes on, you know, Diggity just going to get to the point again where they can commit everything. I mean, VP, if you are VP now, do you still stick around, or do you think you have to kind of back up, say, all right, guys, this isn't working? And,
it depends
just look to farm
on
up the
how
map?
they feel about the Black Hole cooldown, because right now it's what, like 40 seconds?
I
Yeah,
think,
it's one of those situations where in probably like next wave they back out.
Okay.
They just say we don't want to fight into BKB Black Hole. We can't assume he's going to make that mistake 2 times, and it's not worth the risk because we don't even have our Ember here anymore. Like he's up in 3, but he can maybe bot back, but I don't know if it's worth the risk of fighting and then losing it. Especially considering, let's see, G has Aegis for a little bit longer. I can't imagine it's more than like 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's got to be a couple more minutes at least, yeah.
But once that's gone, I think they just try to control the map. But we're going to get back into the game here on pause.
All right, let's see what the call from VP is. And yeah, it looks like they just realised not enough's happening. And they're going to look to try and achieve some objectives elsewhere. As the mid lane looks to be the callers. If they can try and get a second lane pressured in. But of course, as we keep saying, by the time that happens, no Diggity, they themselves very much ready to fight. Daedalus, just under 1k away here from Yoku, still needs that Demon Edge. But I mean, once you've got the Daedalus and the Battle Fury online here as well, you've got to be very careful with obviously getting the Eidolons out and such, as there'll be a huge amount of splash damage when VP go for these high ground sieges. And Era has the progression looking well. Obviously finished the BKB after the death soon, nearly touching onto level 16. Yeah, they're going to need some wombo combos. They definitely have the potential to do so. They're actually smoked up here. Kezu, Yapzon Sin actively looking for some action. VP themselves, behind the tier 2 in the mid lane.
They know that all of No Diggity's ultimates are up. This is why they're so defensively postured. Yeah. They just understand. It's like, okay, this team plays around Black Hole and Sphere, and that's about it. Like, that is their best game plan, their most dangerous combination. And as long as we just avoid the 5-man confrontation, then we're going to be fine. You know, if we can make them misuse their abilities or use them in a smaller scale fight, and then maybe force an objective afterwards, it's also a way that you can play around it. But unfortunately, right now for No Diggity, the smoke is probably not going to find anything. It's going to be wearing off in about 10 seconds. Looks like the pause is going to end once again. And it's just trying to, again, how the fights turn out is going to really dictate the entire pace of this game. We're kind of past the split push farm phase. We're more into the No Diggity pretty much only want a 5-man. And VP have a tremendous amount of catch, so split pushing against them is pretty much just a death wish, unless you're trying to bait. That's like the only thing that might put VP in a bad situation. Otherwise, if they keep playing this way and are able to split up the map more than No Diggity, eventually they will just out-farm. So the pressure is on No Diggity right now to try to make something happen.
Yeah, I mean, without the smoke at the moment, you can see the vision for the side of VP. It's not too great over their own side here. It's just the one that they've got around by that bottom rune spot. So there's still the potential for No Diggity to try and catch out VP. And they are sticking around at the moment. They've sent Koifa back to start to deal with that creep push on the top lane. It's now an AC done on the OD, and to be fair, that feels like an item you don't see every day on an OD.
It's a really good choice though, because if you check his inventory, a lot of the time you have like this, you know, moon shard somewhere.
Yeah.
But he's up against a Clinks with a Deso. He's also up against a Void, an Exort, and Invoker, which does do a reasonable amount of right click, and then you also take into account Alacrity and whatnot. So it's a nice item for breaking the base, good for Roshan, very strong itemization against the Clinks, and also helps out the other lower armor heroes on your team, like the Ember Spirit, who is very susceptible to Clinks damage.
I'll see if they can catch up with this. Koifa is going to reveal himself top now. He's going to keep it safe in the trees. They're making a move, in fact, straight towards the base VP. And now hesitating. Era. He's out there as well. Yoku will jump forward. Maybe seeing if he can bait something out, but in fact the rest of the team of VPR just hanging around that mid lane, seeing if anyone on the side of No Diggity comes out to farm it.
The rest of them aren't showing though.
Okay, they're just
seeing G
just
is
G
not enough to warrant going on the Ember. I think it's too scary for them. And you can even see the aggressive ward positioning coming out here from Virtus.Pro. They can pretty much see No Diggity leaving the base from any area except for maybe a little bit of top lane. And this is like the perfect warding, right? Because you basically want to see them as soon as they are visible.
Hello, dance. Oh, jumps in. Kezu will get the chrono. It's only onto the one of them, and now with the Fisher and the defensive Astral as well. Aloha Dance is going to be able to live another day. Well, I say that, he gets Fiend's Grip. They're not messing around with the line kill. They do find it.
Yeah. It's okay though investing that, because it's only a 60-second cooldown since Aghanims was done on Kezu before he threw out the sphere. So it's not as big of a commitment as it was before. And that helps No Diggity just being able to fight more often. That's really the biggest issue their lineup has, is they are not good at fighting consistently. They can take one big fight and then wait 3 minutes.
Era being forced to pop his BKB there.
Yeah.
I mean, if VP want to still try and force the issue, no, that is down. And okay, FNG echoes them onto Kuiper. He'll use himself up, but again, FNG fast on the fingers every time, just popping that out to secure these kills, and it looks to be worth it. He himself might be in a bit of trouble unless his team can get there in time to help him out. Yoku looking to work on Error barely surviving on 100 HP, and FNG, oh, this man, absolutely man of the match, FNG.
Chasing when your BKB's down, not advised, Era, not advised.
Each and every time, this man, he's been on point with the initiations. He's been on point in just getting away from trouble. I mean, FNG...
Ghost up there just destroys them. The Klink's item progression is not very good this game. Like 34 minutes, only having BKB Deso is pretty far behind. I mean, you compare that to, you know, what the Ember has. He has much more in the way of net worth, so it's really rough because you kind of want having a defusal at this point. Okay, good sphere.
Indeed, onto 2. They do have a black hole to follow up if they want to. There's a buyback from Era. Look at the black hole onto G, and no fear as well. G dropping low. He's going to be down for 70. No fear as well. Can he get them? Can he get himself out of there? Kezu jumping forward. Aloha Dance with the stun to contain him. Yamso's moved in, but he's been hexed up, and now Yoku with the damage of the finger from Aloha Dance. They'll lose the Enigma. Fiend's Grip for Sin, catching out the Ember, but oh, FNG, he cancels the Fiend's Grip, jumps straight in, looking for the single. FNG realizes he's got to get himself out. Will get caught out by the tornado here. It looks like he may be left for dead unless he can game himself around this one. There'll be the Deafening Blast to hold him in, and now they will find the Shaker kill. But nice play, indeed, it just allows the rest of the team to get themselves away. No Diggity, they're going to be happy with the trade though, especially seeing as they got that big kill onto G. It was a lovely chrono, nice follow at Black Hole. And I mean, this is what we kind of come to expect, the fact that they're going to have good high ground base defense, and they've even, well, looks a bit, managed to pick themselves up another. Aloha Dance, he's been found all on his own, Sunstrike to bring the Lion down. As no Diggity, they defend their top lane and they really kick back hard. It did cost them the 1 buyback, but overall,
that's
worth it any day.
Yeah, way worth. The biggest issue that VP are running into is the only real high ground sieging hero that does damage to the tower is G. I mean, Ember is really bad at sieging until late game. Enchantress is okay, I suppose, because you have Dragonlance, you can hit from a distance, but when you put your OD in the front and there's a BKB Enigma, you actually have no way of saving G. He actually dies 100% of the time in a sphere if BKB is not popped. And I think that's part of the reason why he wanted to buy AC, because so much of the damage that's coming out on him is physical. But if he doesn't BKB before Kezu's sphere goes down, he's dead. Yeah. There's just no way he can live through that. So if no Diggity can keep taking the engagement in that manner, then they will be okay. They just need to always be like, Kezu, always need to sphere G, because that sets up for the black hole, which they can't stop because there's BKB on Yapsor.
If they get a catch onto Yoku here, ooh, no, Yoku's quick. He's out of there, Remnant straight away. Won't be hanging around. I mean, yeah, as you said, this game, no Diggity, if they continue with that, they can certainly bring this one back round, but still, this is going to be something I'd imagine you'd be pretty scared of, the fact that this Ember is incredibly farmed, and it's still 5k ahead of your highest net worth, and of course it is worth to note, Kuiper, we mentioned it earlier, had a really tough early game, but he's certainly brought it back and stepped it up. He's 16k, highest at the moment for no Diggity. He's managed to recover really well from a really bad laning stage.
I think he went from being like 1 and 6 to 6 and 7. So he's gotten 5 kills and died 1 time. Very impressive to say the least, to bring yourself back into the game in that manner. But the one thing that is the downside of no Diggity's lineup is what we're seeing here is every time you have to use your ultimates to defend your base, it leaves Roshan wide open. Because say, you know, VP push, they lose a core hero, and Roshan is going to be spawning soon, but you have to use Black Hole, it means you pretty much can't fight Roshan, because you need Black Hole to win that fight. With just a sphere, G probably lives, but with the Black Hole and a sphere, he always dies. And if you have to commit those ultimates in conjunction, even with the use of an Aghanims, Kezu's sphere is not going to be enough to carry you through that Roshan fight, and that's kind of what VP are abusing here. So losing G was obviously not ideal, but it does set them up for a situation where now they can actually go high ground, bait those ultimates out like we were talking earlier onto G, and then just spend the Aegis for it instead of him actually dying. And that will result in potentially them getting a tier 3. And I imagine they probably just go top. I don't see any reason for them to push mid right now because the tower is just way lower. And I also think it's a bit easier maybe to push into top, but we will see.
Let's see what the next point of call is from VP. But of course, as we've been mentioning, they do need to be careful. Everything is available for no Diggity to defend the base, and we saw how that went last time. Just one good chrono, and you're going to be able to kill someone like G, as long as he doesn't get that BKB off.
I think the best plan of action actually is to have G siege this time instead of Yoku, because if Yoku dies, he can't buy back, but he will be able to buy back by the time they push. If you go for Yoku, he has to spend money, but G doesn't. So you need to force No Diggity to go on the hero they don't want to go on. You know what I mean? Like, you want to make them go on G.
I mean, G as well as his next time. Do you imagine he will just go for that moon shards?
I think Hex is too good to pass up this game. Yeah, there's only, let's see, 1 BKB? Yeah, no, 2, sorry. 2 on the side of No Diggity. But if you get a blink Hex onto somebody, they're dead before that Hex wears off as OD with these items. Like, you just blow them up. A couple of auto attacks in the Sanity's Eclipse, or, you know, even a follow-up fissure or finger from Aloha Dance can be the end. And I think that just having that kind of catch potential, especially when going high ground, can be extremely useful. Because then you start a fight on your own terms. You're not just waiting for No Diggity to jump on you. You can say, okay, we're fighting right now.
Koifa? No, he should be able to go for a kill here. He's got the backup of Vera. And now start this one off with a little bit of a touch. Now jumps up, Tornado into the Sunstrike. The Ghost Scepter is going to buy him some time. I mean, should it? Oh, he's going to be able to play around it. And there, they don't get the kill. Now VP, they're hot onto the trail and No Diggity. FNG, he's going to be held back though by those Forge Spirits, unable to get the blink off, of course. So No Diggity will be fine. But yeah, unfortunately they couldn't find that quick kill onto Aloha Dance. The line just proving to be a little bit too slippery with that Ghost
I'm
Scepter.
actually amazed he didn't die. I don't know how he didn't die, actually. Did he throw his Tornado out before? He must have.
He blinked up Tornado to initiate into the Sunstrike.
Yeah.
And then the line was able to walk off.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's why. That's why he lived. I suppose he could have used Deafening as well.
Chrono onto G, we saw this before. It's a big kill if they can get it. They look to have the damage. G, Deafening Blast. He's got the Aegis this time around. Kezu, heads up on the front line. Guarding Grease bottom. Sometimes the defensive nightmare from Sin. Kezu, he's going to be alright. Sin, he saves the Void. G now being Black Hole. Does get the kill off the OD. FNG blocks the Echo Slam. Will manage to know he's in trouble as well. No Diggity just chasing them all out of the base. We've got the Yules onto a lower dance. He'll go Scepter himself out, trying to walk away. Yoku's still there, turning around with a slight fist for Error. Looking to get the damage onto No Fear. Can't quite get the attack speed through the untouchable. But 2 heroes down. FNG's Gonzo as well as G. And really nice nightmare from Sin there, saving Kezu from the full brunt of VP's attack.
To be honest, even if Kezu died, No Diggity still win that fight. Yeah, I mean, obviously that's just icing on the cake. Not having your Void die is great, but they just keep falling into the same kind of trap. The first ultimate was a Sphere. That took the Aegis. The second ultimate was Black Hole. That killed him, straight up. Instead of, you know, having some kind of counter initiation, I think FNG blinked into the Black Hole on accident. Because he still had Echo when Arrow was going on him, so he must have just not gotten it off in time.
Well, they're getting this. They want to be a bit careful. Yoku is hanging around. I'll pop down a nice ward here. No Diggity. Oh, lower dance. He's kind of playing with fire here. Oh, he's going to get punished. He's going to get burnt. That was a little bit cocky of him to come back round.
Yeah, but this is a really good spot for No Diggity because that push for VP should have been a Rax. I think this is the stage in the game where No Diggity start to take a pretty decent advantage in regards of map control, because this is the first time where the lanes are going to be pushing out in their favor. There's no objective really to fight over for the next 3 minutes, so they can actually go for their own positioning play and try to force VP back for the first time. Whereas the first 3 Aegis and Roshans have been claimed by Virtus.Pro, and they still have yet to take a tier 3 tower. 3 Aegises and they can't take a single tier 3. That is a really bad sign. Now there is always the Rapier play on Ember.
Yep.
Which can be very scary to deal with.
How's his money looking?
He's got 5k.
I mean, do you think he's, at this point, you just save up with that in mind?
I think you buy it. Yeah, I think you buy Rapier this game. It's a bit scary going up against like the Blink Void, the Blink BKB Black Hole, but Yoku's positioning has been pretty good throughout the game.
It's true. Yeah, we're very rarely being seen. I think it was just the start that was once on the push, but other than that, it's, as you said, they've been doing what you suggested, just having G on the front line and Yoku hanging back.
Well, you want G on the front line when he has Aegis, but that's the inherent issue with their lineup. Because the Ember is actually just such a bad high ground hero. As we see Aloha danced here, dying again, Diffusal Blade picked up on Era, helping with that. But yeah, the issue that they're having is just the inability for them to siege. Their team is really bad at sieging, and No Diggity have a really good high ground defense. So those two things combined together make it really damn hard for VP to actually round this game out. I mean, maybe they were a little bit too eager to go high ground and end up losing too many heroes. And then that just keeps No Diggity in the game.
Oh, here we go. No Diggity coming round. FNG pops down the Fisher. Echo Slam onto Ketchup with a black hole from the Absol. Grabs 2 of them in. The Meteor comes flying through. They've found themselves 2 kills off the back of that one. No Diggity. Now they're trying to chase for more. The Tornado flies through G. Not messing around. Pops the BKB, but the Chrono cancelling the TP. Great play from Kezu. They're closing in on the OD as the 4 of them ready to set in, ready to take him down. He'll Astral himself, buy himself some time. There's 5 arrows around him. You can see Cinnamon trying to buy Spice on the time, trying to predict where he blinks to. It doesn't matter though. Oh, maybe it does! Sanities comes out and G will take down Kezu. But it's alright at the end of the day for No Diggity as they still find the kill.
OS Frog.
Really nice play though from No Diggity. Great initial black hole onto 2, securing the first opening kills, and then that follow-up there, Kezu on point, dropping the Chrono into the trees, stopping G from getting himself out of it, and yeah, he'll happily pay with his life for that trade.
Poor Kezu. He probably felt so confident about that time walk, and then he remembered that he was jumping onto an OD, just dies in like 2 auto attacks and an ult.
Oh.
Man, what a hero that
Talking
is.
about dying, I mean, if Harry...
He's looking for a Aloha
If he
dance.
gets a lower dance here, there's not a lot of hope for the line.
He is gonna...
Not a lot of hope for this poor man.
If he's fast on Hex and Arrow doesn't BKB, maybe he lives.
Oh, Arrow's maybe lost the scent.
No, I think he knows.
Yes?
Oh, okay.
Is he?
He's waiting for creeps to spawn, maybe?
Can he find it? Oh.
Alright, yeah, he's gone.
Yeah,
he
line's
has no
out.
idea where he is. He's gonna walk into ward vision, though.
Yeah, let's see how close he comes. I don't know. Oh, he's actually going to jump in and look for this Sin. I mean, the back of a Yoko, I'm guessing. You can certainly go for this one. They get the stun out. The Greaves, though, from No Diggity. And yeah, no, Yoku says he's out of this one. This is a failed gank. Nice reaction from No Diggity to ensure that suddenly this incredibly stacked Ember Spirit and line, you're not killing Sin. You know, No Diggity, they've got the back of Trolls this time.
It's just not a last-ditch effort or anything by VP, because they still think it's hard for No Diggity to push high ground themselves. But this will be the first Roshan that they're able to get their hands on, and it looks like we're contemplating a Rapier purchase here.
It's going to be a Skadi, I think. Oh, no, he's not.
It's a Rapier.
He had an Orb of Venom. He scared me with that.
You can't buy Scotty, dude. Scotty is not going to do anything.
He's got an Orb on the Courier.
Yeah.
And he sent the Courier, so I was a little bit scared. But I think at that point he was like, oh, he sold it, yeah.
He needs to start one-shotting heroes. Like, that's how they win the game. Like, the ultra late game Ember, it's pretty scary. But again, this is Aegis cheese for No Diggity. And they have everything but Black Hole available. And Black Hole's up at about 5, so...
And I imagine this is, that's a Perseverance on the way to a refresher for the Absol.
I would assume so, yeah.
Alright, well, mid lane.
He can finish it, actually. He has, I think, enough money.
Oh. Sunstrike. Going to be dodged here by the Ench. No Diggity still hanging around. Top lane, we've got FNG and G. Putting some pressure on. Now I see the jump in. Putting this initial stun onto no fair. Whoa, goodbye, Ench. Goodbye, Ench.
Yep.
Arrow just not messing around today. Pops the BKB, rips the Doe to shreds, and this tier 2 is going to be shortly following as well by the looks of it. They'll actually pop the fort for this. And No Diggity maybe having a chance to push on for more. G still pushing in top, trying to force them back. The Chrono coming out. Is it going to catch anyone? In fact, the Deafening Blast, well, it doesn't matter if he gets pushed into the Chrono, that line. He's dead already. Aloha Dance is gone. Let's see what they can do to hold this one back. They'll send Kezu in. Of course, no Chrono at the moment. Actually jumping forward now. Oh, FNG with the Echo Slam for the Absol. Gets the Black Hole onto 2 quite fast. With a position, drops the Ice Wall. Kezu coming back with a Bastion onto G. G will banish the Void, putting him into the Astral. Sin moving in as well. They're low on mana. Can they do anything to finish one off? FNG falling low in the base. He'll go at G as well. They get both the kills. No Diggity hold the base. And this has been quite a game in terms of performance for both teams earlier on for VP and now No Diggity. It's, I mean, 25 to 31. VP certainly struggled as the mid game went on to finish this one off, and No Diggity now at this point, you just look at the board, look at the way they're playing, and you got to ask yourself, are they the ones that are in the lead at the moment? I think the answer is yes, Andy.
Yeah, I mean, they're leading, but you also have to consider the way the team fights are rolling out is pretty much the exact same.
Yeah.
Like, No Diggity are always on the defense. They're sitting and waiting for VP to come to them.
All those items.
I mean, I do think that No Diggity are clearly advantaged at this stage in the game, but it's just because of the way that VP's lineup functions. They have to initiate. That's how their lineup wins. They go in, you know, they start a fight. They try to drag it out maybe a little bit with the Ember Spirit, get some Sleight of Fists off, but every time you put this hero frontline like G or Enchantress, they just die to a Black Hole or a Chronosphere, and you can't stop either of them anymore. Like the ultimates, which are the strongest point of No Diggity's lineup, cannot be interrupted.
This is nice. Sin's first ever BKB for the on the Bane.
It's like riding a bike, you know?
He's going to be loving himself.
He got like halfway down the street and fell over a couple times, and now he's just got the training wheels are off.
Yeah.
We got the magic immunity.
All right, that deserves a post, really. Congrats, Sindon, first time building BKB on Bane.
Yep.
Really nice to see him be able to pull that out this game.
It's got to feel good. Road to TI6.
I mean, if that's not good, if Sin's building a BKB on Bane, I think you've won the game. I mean, you don't lose if that happens.
If he has money, you've won.
Yeah. BKB now on Kezu as well, as we saw popping up as well. The fact they've got double hex on both Era and Koifa. Refreshers, of course, done on Yapzor. Huge items for No Diggity. VP, they need something to use. They need a massive Echo Slam, and I mean, if there's ever anyone that's going to give you one of those, it is going to be FNG. So the potential is still there. But it's really hard indeed, as we've seen, fighting into what No Diggity have available, especially when the fights are fairly infrequent. I mean, each and every time we're seeing No Diggity have the time to get the big ults back online.
Yeah, it's because VP are starting to become passive and realizing that their high ground pushes aren't working. The only problem is it took him too many attempts. Like, they tried, what, 4 times, 5 times to break high ground, failed every single time. I think G died, like, every single push they did as well. He's got 6 deaths. That's quite a bit for an OD. You don't really want to die that much on that hero. He is very susceptible to falling off if you don't keep ahead in terms of item progression. But the big things to remember here, obviously No Diggity are playing to their strength when they're on defense. When they are playing aggressive is when VP's lineup actually becomes a bit easier to execute, because instead of this like concave of big ultimates sitting inside of their base that No Diggity would normally have, they're the ones who have to start trying to play aggressively to break your base, which means there's a higher likelihood that, you know, Yapzor, Cinderin, or, you know, even Kezu are out of position, which opens up spots for those big echoes like you're talking about. So we'll see if No Diggity can execute their high ground push a bit better than maybe VP have so far.
Yeah, this Axe Octarine is going to be a lot of fun to watch from Koifa. 1.05 second invoke time. And as Weapons pointed out as well, in terms of the leveling for VP, the fact that your Enchant line 50 minutes in haven't quite reached that level 16 mark.
Well, it's what happens when you 5-man a ton and you don't win any team fights.
Kezu, he's going to get jumped on it, but oh, yeah, oh, it's a 3-man black hole. Jeez, no Pirlo, not getting cracked in, and then the Chrono, the follow as well. Oh, VP, you've just been had. Absolutely done in. Oh my goodness.
And that's pretty much the story of the game right there.
Yeah, we said it at the start. You've got to watch out for Yapzor's Enigma performance, and he's not failed to impress this game. He really hasn't.
Well, the thing is, VP keep playing into it. You know what I mean? Like, they keep jumping these heroes, clumping up.
Oh no, Yoku, not the rapier, not like this. Eternal Envy, okay, it's fine.
It would have been next level to like Sunstrike somewhere randomly in the base, knowing that he had a Remnant out. Got him.
Oh, Echo Slam here, bringing Kezu low. There's going to be fine. The Grease come out. Oh, the Time Walk and the cheese. He's fine. He is fine.
They need to get a kill here. This is mega bad for them.
Come on, VP. What can you pull out the bag? They need to pull
They just dropped double ulti, a buyback, and a BKB. They got nothing. This is so painful for VP. I think they honestly just pressured themselves way too much in trying to break high ground. Like, if you imagine they starve out No Diggity for like 10 minutes, you know, just farm all 3 lanes, kill Roshan maybe 1 or 2 times. Don't try to push high ground, but just keep farming.
No chill here from No Diggity. Smoked up. They've got that refresher black hole if they want to try and do something again.
Yeah.
And Chrono, of course, back up as well with that lovely short cooldown thanks to the Ags. Let's see if they can catch out Yoku, of course, the man holding the rapier. If they can get this Ember, he's going to jump forward here, straight back with a Remnant. No messing around from Yoku. They're closing in, and now VP. They'll jump in onto Era. They get into a head, but Kezu, he gets the Chrono out onto 2, Sunstrike onto G as well. They're both their pitches out, and now the black hole again. Yapzor grabs G, a low on dodge as well. It's 2 down. Now Yoku's trying to do what he can with the damage on this Ember Spirit with the rapier. Not quite enough. Will take down the Bane, but instantly Cinderin buys back. Era. Moving in, he's not done. Wants to see if he can find something else here, but VP, they are back to the base, but 2 heroes down now. 2 heroes down. Oh, tries for that, but of course the Lincolns. One time, FNG jumps in with the control onto Era. I think they can find it, but Era's out. Not quite enough damage to bring this Clinks down.
He tried to defusal Hex, but a little bit fast on the reaction there from Yoku. He was only able to get the defusal off before he blinked away.
As we can see, I mean, this really just took a massive turn for the worse about that 38 or so minute mark. Yeah. For the side of VP.
It very accurately reflects what ends up happening in the game, because VP are like crushing in the laning
it's a
phase.
second rapier.
Yeah, man, this is like standard Ember. When
I
you're
guess that's the
behind,
backup one. He's not going to equip 2 at the same time, is he?
Nah, he needs to keep his Lincolns for sure. So I don't. Maybe he gets rid of Blink for high ground defense and just has double rapier instead. I don't know. Even that's kind of tough to do. You kind of want the Blink still.
I mean, 30 seconds without this OD, and straight away, no Diggity know that they've got to use this to try and find more, and they do. They get the Chrono onto no fit. And she's down. Tier 3 as well. Looks like they've got a good chance of finding these rags here. FNG jumps in with the Echo, catching out Quoifer as well, but that's in. Keeping Quoifer alive with the Nightmare. He'll use himself up. He's going to be fine. Click brings down FNG on the Shaker. Yoku comes back in. Does manage to get Invoker off the back of this one, but Kezu gets the kill. Now Yoku, he's not done. Knows he needs to pull something big out the bag. Will get the kill onto Sin. That is a dieback from your Bane, and G, he's now back. They're looking to hold this. They haven't lost the racks. They'll see if they can get Kezu. He pops the BKB. Time walks himself off, but G, Yoku jump forward. They will take him down. That's going to be the gem on the deck. So VP do hold the base. They manage to maintain their racks. No Diggity. I mean, this time the tables have turned, and that's got to be the best bit of action we've seen from VP for the last, good 10 or so minutes of this game. They're going to be very, very happy with that base defense. And as we can see, we're starting to see the pain of trying to push up high ground against a Rapier Ember Spirit.
Not only that, but just the lineup that No Diggity have. They have 2 high ground heroes, which are the Invoker and the Clinks, and then the rest of them are just defensive supports. Like they really are. I mean, Clinks. Not Clinks, Void, for example, like he can blink in and start a fight, which is what he did. He knew that OD was dead, and he's like, all right, let's try to force it here. Let's try to win the game. You know, we're making this commitment right now. But using your ultimates on heroes that aren't super important cores like Ench can backfire very heavily, especially when Black Hole wasn't up either. So like they have this one ultimate to commit, and this is the big difference between pushing and defending is this lineup. Is when you push, you have to commit to go for kills, and then you potentially have to play into buybacks as well. And this is opening up an opportunity for VP to get another Roshan, which, No Diggity could have done the same thing as VP, where they just try to starve you out instead. Play around your ultimates, make it so VP have to come to you, because that's when you are at your strongest, not when you're pushing high ground. And then you yourself get the next cheese and the next Aegis, and then you're pushing into VP with a bigger advantage, instead of now having to defend, losing your map control, and being back in a situation where VP have an opportunity to actually break that high ground with those rapiers.
Yeah, we can certainly indeed expect to see VP maybe trying to achieve something out off the back of finding that Roshan kill, Aegis on G. But it's still going to be hard. We saw them have trouble earlier against No Diggity. And kind of the big step up is the fact that they do indeed, as you said, have that rapier. 7k now on Yoku. I mean, this man's farm, as the hecticness has kind of continued to rise, he's still 41,000 net worth. In this game at the moment. It's insane.
He's got 712 CS in 56 minutes. It's pretty good farm. The biggest problem, actually, that I think VP have had is G's item progression has just been gone.
Yes.
He has had the same items for, what, 20 minutes?
I mean, what did he get after the AC?
Nothing.
Nothing.
He hasn't got another item yet.
Oh, selling the Exos.
That's going to be a Hex.
Get the Hex out.
This isn't necessary purchase, though. He needs the Hex for just killing a hero, But we've seen what happens, like, every time they initiate onto one hero, they get like 2 or 3 man Chronoed or 2 or 3 man Black Hole, and the fight's just instantly over.
Yeah.
That seems to be the running storyline here for VP. It just goes back to like 20 minutes when they actually had a huge advantage. They didn't necessarily have to pressure as hard as they were, and they certainly didn't need the high ground at that point in the game. You build like this Pipe or a Glimmer Cape and one of your supports for G inside of the sphere, and then you could be much better off when you're pushing that high ground instead of just letting him die every single time.
Are you loving the Ags and Ags Enigma?
Dude, that thing is actually super legit.
Oh, wait, no, sorry.
Oh, he didn't buy Ags.
Oh, we didn't buy Ags.
He's buying Octarine. Okay. I thought...
Damn, I would have loved to see the Ags.
You said Ags, and I was like, yeah, that's actually pretty decent.
I guess Octarine's great as well.
Well, the regular Midnight Pulse and the Ags Midnight Pulse stack.
Yeah, oh yeah,
So
and
you're-
then with the refresher.
Yeah, you're
That's
taking like 10.5% of your maximum
it's
HP and damage.
A lot of damage if you can hit that off with the combo. Yeah, get 2 of those through each time.
Then again, they're not really lacking in damage either.
No, it's just the frequency that they may want to try and fight.
Yep. Would have been fun though.
It would have been a lot of fun. And I guess at the same time as well, you get a midnight pulse down and a black hole, and
That's
it's
already
very
good enough.
hard to kill you. That's a lot of heals.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult actually. It's kind of like playing Veno. You know, you get
Yeah,
the Axe Octarine on
you're
Veno.
sitting there like, all right.
You actually heal like 300 or 400 health a second or something ridiculous when you have that.
But yeah, because of the percentage-based damage against some of these tankier heroes like G. That's going to translate into a lot of heals. No. Let's see what the next bit of play here is from VP. They do have that smoke on a low hard dancer. A very tasty-looking double damage rune at the bottom of this river. Let's see if they're able to get this into the hands of ideally Yoku.
Yeah, that's going to be some pain. The thing about double damage though that's really funny about Ember is that his base damage is pretty crap.
That's true. I only see
He only has 132.
Yeah.
For Tiny
Oh,
and
yeah.
Morphling,
I mean,
double damage is the dream. And for Meepo, it used to be amazing, and then they nerfed it. Rightfully so. Damn Meepo's
yeah,
fans, that's what they
five
get.
double damage heroes off one rune. That's yeah, that could be a little bit too much.
Yeah. But you can tell that VP have adopted a new game plan now. Even with the Aegis, you know, they realize the farm might not be quite what they need it to need it to be anymore. They want to have a bigger advantage when they're pushing into No Diggity just because of the nature of their lineup and it being so 5-man oriented. And you kind of just want to smother this team. You don't want to necessarily engage into it head on, and I feel like that's what VP fell prey to, is we need to fight, we need to fight, we need to fight, we need to push the high ground, we need to win. And maybe we're a little bit more scared of No Diggity's late game than they should have been.
I mean, yep. So of course, I guess at this point of the game, you are having to save for Bob. I mean, he's not going to pick up the Octarine as soon as he's got the gold, is he?
No way.
You got to hold off.
Can't run the risk. That's like what we call the game losing play,
Yes.
is to
Go
finish the
away.
Octarine. That's a really good tip for all you core players out there who just refuse to have buyback
Core
ever.
players.
And for whatever reason, no, core players.
Oh, core.
Yeah.
All you poor players.
No. Core players, the guys who actually have the money.
Yeah.
Saving for buyback is good. You should do it more.
I've got a movement from No Diggity. See if they can maybe catch VP off guard. Okay, and oh,
Rip.
Error eating his dog in front of his owner.
That's just messed up, actually.
Oh, G jumps in with a Hex on Terra. BK beats a pop. Yapso turns around, gets the black hole onto G now. Error from the sidelines, dealing the damage in Error. He's going to find the kill. G's gone. And at the same time on the sideline, Koifu and Kezi dismantling the rest of VP. They're going to find FNG here as well. Refresher pop by Yapso, blinking forward, holds onto the black hole, doesn't quite manage to catch out Ember. They do have buyback on G, they do have buyback on FNG, and he does still have that Echo Slam. They're going to need to use it.
Well, they have another black hole, and Chronosphere is only 30 seconds on cooldown. They can just wait for the next creep wave if they want. Or actually, not the next one, the one after.
I mean, let's on Yoku, did he ever spend any more of that money, or is he just, there's nothing?
No,
ready
he's
to
just
buy?
sitting at
Yeah.
9,500 gold, because why the hell not?
Yeah.
I'm Ember.
Why not? Gotta flash the cash. Well, No Diggity looking in a very good place now in terms of trying to close this one out.
Yeah.
G's still holding on to his buyback, but he's surely going to have to use it if No Diggity continue this pressure. They'll take themselves the bottom racks here. We'll see how much VP are willing to let them take before the buyback does come out. Tier 3 dropping incredibly fast. And let's try and get some impetus onto Error now. FNG with the slam. Yamsor Black Hole catches FNG and no fear. The Chrono for as well. It's going to catch Yoku on the sidelines. FNG falling over G. He's back in the fight. They rule his FNG. G gets the hex on the Kezi. Kezi's got Yamsor as well. Double kill for G. He might just find more quite far. He's drawn out. There's 3 dead on No Diggity. Senua trying to run, trying to hide. G jumps forward. He gets 9 made up of VP. They're chasing him down. They're going to get the bait kill as well. There's a buyback from Yamsor. But
Oh,
VP,
Yapso needs to be careful.
Oh, Yamsor, this is a buyback. He can't fall. He cannot go down now, Yoku. He's jumped in the greaves of pop. Yapsor backs himself off, will be able to live. They do still have the buybacks available on all heroes. Dead at the moment on the side of No Diggity. But that fight, I mean, that's over a 12k gold swing. Huge hold for VP. off the back of what looked like a fantastic black hole. Great Chrono onto Yoku, but they just couldn't kill the heroes in time. And G coming back on the pitch just in time. Hello, our dance. What are you doing here? The jam on the floor at the moment. Yoku can't really afford to pick up anything to pick it up.
G can pick it up.
Look how much money this man's got. Just eat a moon shard, son. It's good for your health.
I mean, why not?
Well, not good for your health, more good for your attack speed. But you know what I mean.
Dire's middle tower is
I mean,
under
they're gonna have to buy back here, right?
Oh,
You know what? They have to wait for black hole. It's still 80 seconds. No black hole is really bad, actually.
a VP doing it.
I mean, they're gonna get the racks. I don't think No Diggity feel comfortable buying back here. They put themselves in like a one team fight situation.
Oh boy. Yeah, he points back up in a couple of seconds and Chrono is there.
How is this? All right, this is insane, actually. If
That
VP come
one
back to
fight-
win this game, I would just be like, they're racks ahead right now because they didn't kill the melee racks mid. They killed the range racks.
My goodness. Oh, Yoku, he's moving the courier, guys. He is going to buy something.
He has to buy Moonshard. Like, there's no reason not to buy
Moon
it.
shards or another backup rapier.
All right, third backup rapier.
What's he
Let's
going to
go.
do? Let's see what's the plan.
At what point do you just buy like a refresher on the courier for 2 sleight of fists? Like, come on, you got 15,000 gold.
Talk about refresher. Kezu, he's going to grab one of the void now. What's he going to get? Yoku. Oh, it's the third fourth. Oh my
Okay.
goodness.
Why
Oh!
not? Just buy all the
Yeah.
rapiers.
All the rapiers.
Oh, and they're gonna smoke. They're gonna go for the. They're gonna go on the aggression.
Oh my
They wanna
goodness,
go.
there's going to be nothing there next
They're
time
gonna
Envy
fight
turns
into
up
a
to the
double
shop.
chronosphere void, dude. This is like the worst time to smoke.
Oh.
They're gonna have 2 black holes and 2 spheres. This is the hardest possible team fight to win for VP.
Oh my giddy aunt. This is 64 minutes in now, 34 to 45. You're sitting an Ember Spirit at nearly 50k net worth. And still... Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, who needs a Lincoln Sphere? Who needs a Lincoln's? Just get that second
Oh,
rapier
God.
on you.
I'm gonna get like PTSD watching this game or something.
Now, no one told me Envy was standing in for VP.
I'm pretty sure he has more net worth in the stash than most of the heroes have just on their heroes.
Oh man.
Oh, he definitely has more net worth in the stash than Cinderin has.
Wait, he's got, wait, so let's
Yeah,
do the
he
maths.
does.
25, 10, 35,
has-
45, 55. No, he hasn't got quite more than it.
No.
Oh, wait, no,
'cause-
sorry, that's his own team. I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Earthshaker, Bane, Enchantress, and Lion have less net worth than he has in his stash. And so
Oh.
does the Void, actually.
My goodness. Wow.
I mean, that's going to be something you look back on and say, man, I wish you could buy like an extra inventory slot. You know what I mean?
I mean, that would be good.
If Ember could buy
Probably
inventory
quite
slots,
broken.
he would be like the most overpowered hero. You just have like 10 rapiers. You crit once, you just kill their whole team.
I mean, what we really need to see, you know, if Yoku is a good player, he needs to have a courier and, you know, swap out the boots and a blink, you know, for the 2 rapiers every time you slight a fist and then swap them
my
back.
God,
We got to
that's-
see that.
That's so difficult to do.
He's a pro player.
If you're doing it in base defense, I could see you actually maybe
That could
swapping
actually-
out. You could swap out like
The boots?
the blink
and the
dagger.
blink.
Yeah. Or you could swap out the boots. I guess they're interchangeable. Blink is maybe better to keep actually than
Okay.
boots. Because like when you're using sleight of fist, you want to like be able to blink back or remnant back, just having the multiple escape avenues. Or you like blink forward and then you sleight of fist and then you remnant, so that way you're really far
You've
away.
always got your backup. I mean, this it seems to be a turn of events here at DreamLeague. The last couple of days, we've had some incredibly quick games. I mean, we've had
Yes.
15-minute games, and now here, 66 minutes in. I mean, this game has the potential to not necessarily end anytime soon, unless one team really fluffs up with a low-hard dance.
Jesus. Okay, you need to get out of there. All right, we good. We good. Oh, maybe not. Maybe
Oh,
not.
he is not looking good at me.
Just. All right, stay in the trees. Okay, he's fine. He's fine, Owen.
He is fine.
Everything's
You're right.
fine.
You know. Bang on. No Diggity.
It's kind of ironic how when No Diggity get the advantage, their team composition actually becomes a little bit worse because they have to try to push high ground instead of defense, which is what their team is amazing at. Dota 2, man, what a game.
I mean, Singe, you know, he drafts great if he knows he's going to be losing, and
Yeah.
and now they're winning. It's like, well, what do we do, Singe? And he's like, well, I
He's
didn't
like,
plan for this.
I got a BKB. I didn't plan for this, guys. What
I was
what do
only
I
joking
do?
around, guys. I thought we'd already have lost.
I mean, in a 67-minute game, he hasn't even used his BKB 5 times.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. No Diggity still maintain the entirety of map control here, at the very least. I want to see some like Helm of the Dominator plays, like going back into their base with your quad rapier Ember. Just go for some backdoor, you know? Why not?
Yeah, I imagine with 4 rapiers, you can
can kill real fast.
Backdoor protection is no longer an issue.
Yeah, the one downside to Ember, though, is that he doesn't have a lot of attack speed. And that's really why he's
Did he
not
ever get the
considered...
moon shards? He never got the moon shards.
No, he didn't.
No.
I mean, you don't buy Moon Shard in this game because you're not actually right-clicking heroes
I guess
in
that's
the fight.
the thing, yeah. You've
You're
got to
just
play
using Sleight
super
of
glass
Fist.
cannon. Yeah.
Moon Shard only helps for killing buildings, doesn't help for the team fight. Because if you're sitting like point-blank range into multiple hexes and black holes, you're probably dead. Attack speed is not going to help you.
Okay.
Now this is a proper siege from No Diggity.
They are catching out Error here with the stuns. Hex and Finger as well, bringing him low. Sin nightmares him up. Grieve spots as well. Error will be fine.
I mean, that's what you should be doing. You put the Clinks in the front, you have them hit the buildings, and then if VP decide to engage, then you go. I mean, it's not too many games in this patch where you see an Earthshaker with 2 cheeses, right?
2 cheeses.
Yep. 1 for each hand.
Absolutely. You know, get a bit more and he can make himself a full cheese board.
Yep. And this is really one of those games where everyone's just waiting for buyback. Waiting for
Error, he's coming now, though. They've got Vision, he's gone!
Alright, that's not so good.
Has of course gone down ages. And it's back up. Oh, Lion. Not quite long enough. Oh dear. This game, really quite something. 70 minutes in. And both teams just, they're really struggling to break each other's bases when it comes round to it. And in fact, we might see someone caught off on the back line, Cinderin. He's going to be okay there with the BKB. One of the weaknesses of VP's draft, not a lot to do against a man that's BKB'd up and out of there. Yeah. Especially at this point where most heroes are relatively tanky.
BKB lockdown is non-existent on VP.
Oh, that's pretty.
That's the pushing deafening, you know? Now, where's this Invoker's Refresher? I think Refresher for him would be amazing.
I mean, where's Yoku's 5th Divine Rapier? That's what I want to know.
I'm sure he'll buy one eventually.
He's getting there.
I don't know, man. This is like... This is territory where one mistake just loses you the game instantly. That's why both teams are playing it so passive. One hero dies without buyback. 1 misused black hole, 1 misused chronosphere, and that's it.
I mean, what's the buyback status? Does everyone have buyback? No, okay. So buyback is still an issue in terms of money, actually, for some heroes.
Yeah, just pretty much all the cores have it, except for, I guess, the Void and the Enigma. And then the supports are the ones who are usually not having the money for it. But they're all close anyway.
I mean, this... You know, I don't want to kind of jinx it, but this game, it does have the potential to go on. This... With the buybacks all available...
Yeah, it definitely can go farther, but the thing is...
We might see a long one here.
No Diggity have double sphere, double black hole.
Yeah.
Like, that's just...
Nasty.
That's the most disgusting team fight.
Well, look, I'm not surprised at that. Highest net worth of all time.
Yep. Only 4 players have reached over 60k net worth.
I wonder who those 4 players are. Do you think you can name them?
I have no idea.
Oh, Koifa. He has been caught out, and he's been caught with his pants down.
Well, he has buyback, so... Not necessarily the position they want to be in, but they probably will have to expend it unless they get some ridiculous ults off. And VP don't want to just let them get away with a death for a minute and a half and not pressure. But they are having bottom lane pushed in right now. They may have to go back earlier than they want. But I suppose at this stage in the game, everyone has bots, so you can just run back, have top lane pushing, and then once you get back to base and push out your own bottom lane, you can just bot top instead, which might be what they do here. But not being able to punish this Invoker death is not really so great.
This is... No, as you said, just that fact, it's a little bit scary. I mean, you've got to ask yourself, what are VP really waiting for? If just 1 Invoker kill isn't enough. Do you feel that they are just waiting for No Diggity to overextend themselves?
The biggest issue is not having any tier 3s means the Clinks can play the rat game if one lane is pushed in.
Okay.
So even if it's bottom, it's mid, it's top, it doesn't really matter. If the creeps are in your base and Clinks is down there, and you're trying to go for like this push, Clinks actually kills the base probably faster than the majority of VP kill Dignity or No Diggity's base. Like it's really annoying actually playing against Clink to this stage in the game for that reason, because he just does so much damage.
He really does.
Oh man, this is the longest Roche. That actually favors No Diggity quite a bit.
Aloha dance. Hiding behind that one tree. Let's hope he doesn't make any kind of movements. I'm sure he won't.
Don't worry.
He's not
Their
even breathing.
eyesight is worse than his. If you stand perfectly still, you can't be seen.
Well, I mean, that guy's not even got a face, Andy.
That's true. At the very
In
least.
fact, he's not got half a head.
Yeah. Oh, that actually is kind of spooky.
Yeah.
I just noticed that.
Brainless Void.
Yep.
But to be fair, not the way that Kez has been playing it.
No, he's actually had a very good game. His
Yeah,
Chronos
some
fares have
great
been on
chronos.
point. We're going for the Aloha Dance backdoor here. That's the plan. The Lion backdoor. I'm surprised he doesn't have an Aghanims yet.
Oh. And there we go. Okay, that was the other records. Illidan at the top. Quista. Now that's the name that was probably before
How
my
is a
time.
Bristleback in the
I
Net
wanna
Worth
see that
Hall of
game.
Fame? I mean, Sven
71k on a
Nagasiren.
Bristleback.
Yeah, anti-mage Sven Nagasiren.
My
I see
goodness.
those and I'm like, yeah, of course.
I
you
wonder
know.
what his final items were.
Did he buy like 5 Battle Furies?
I mean,
He
imagine.
just-
I mean, Quist. That must have been a time before Moonshards. I mean, so. I
Yeah, it
guess
was Scary Faces, so yeah, I think it was before Moonshard.
Scary Faces. I remember that team well. They were the team that brought us the 3-hour game back in the day against Cloud9.
Yep. And Cloud9 lost that game, didn't they?
Oh, I should know, shouldn't I?
You cast
I
it.
really should know.
I thought
who
Scary
won that
Faces
game.
won that game.
I think they did actually. Yeah, because G pops the cheese. No, that was in the rap video. Oh. No, wait, was Scary? No, wait. G was on Scary Faces, wasn't he?
I don't.
I
actually
can't remember. That was a long time ago.
It was like a year
Oh, I said
ago.
Big Cloud9 won it, didn't they?
I don't know, dude. I just remember Cloud9 losing long games. That's all I remember.
I just remember Cloud9 losing.
Yeah, that too.
Yep. No.
We are just in Mexican standoff territory.
Where'd this guy's money go? I swear he had more in December. Oh, Moonshards. Thanks, Weppers. Weppers much more weight than I am.
Yeah, he's got them now.
He's gone.
I mean, it's not necessarily the most useful purchase, but it's good.
He's got Monster. There we go.
Easy
Look
plug,
at that.
easy plug.
Easy plug.
Aloha Dance?
Ah, he's dancing back to base.
That Sunstrike, though. Fancy. He's just always looking for that initiation opportunity with Blink Hex into bots from Yoku.
I mean, he's been incredibly sneaky.
Yeah, he's just trying to get the pick. I mean, that's one thing that VP can do that No Diggity have a really hard time dealing with is just the pick-off potential that they have is just a bit better. Just because of Lion's utility in this late game phase.
Oh.
This is by far the longest game in DreamLeague.
Oh, the Bristleback net worth was in the game that I casted.
How do you you casted the game?
Oh man, 26k gold and cash saved and unused. That's a bit like a team secret
FNG.
situation. Well, oh, okay, that's going to be 1 down, 2 down.
That was...
And, well, let's see what else they can find off the back of this. No fear is wild. 3 hits from Era. It's a triple kill. The Chrono onto G. They're moving for more. Well, they'll get it.
They're all going to have to buy back.
Well, the line does not have buyback available.
Alright, that's troublesome. That means free road.
He's 130 gold.
Man,
Sure,
that was such a weird play from Aloha Dance. Like, he blinks forward, he doesn't force staff FNG, which almost assuredly would have saved him, and then just dies. Like, that was probably the worst play he's made all game. And that play in itself is going to cost them so much. Like, that could probably, well, maybe not lost them the game, but
I was
definitely...
going to say, they still have the Ember Spirit hold on the high ground.
Yeah, but that does not help.
And it looks like, I mean, FNG might not need to use the buyback in. No as well on the Ench. They should be alright. Do you think 30 seconds? Ember's defense can hold them enough time?
It's tough to say, because they have refreshers, right? So they can just refresh the Void's Chrono. And to be honest, he's going to have 2 Chronos, because Aghanim's Chrono is such a short cooldown.
FNG's been forced to buy back.
He can just blink Chrono and then refresh.
Oh, Fisher onto Error. Down to half health as well with a sleight of fist. He'll stand his ground and take the remainder of the racks there in the mid lane.
Okay, they absolutely have to commit to these fights. They're trying to wait for G because they want him to have buyback available for the last fight. Because without buyback, if your OD dies once, the game is guaranteed to be over.
It's all down to this 30 seconds.
Yeah, they actually need the time, but they don't have Glyph. So this Clink starts hitting the racks. They have to go. They absolutely have to initiate. Their team is pretty good against Megas, I guess.
Okay, Kezu BKB in, jumping straight forward, gets the chrono onto FNG. There'll be a buyback from G here. The actual Black Hole onto G. Low does as well. The damaging blast flies through. Low has got G. He's still alive. Gets the Hex on the point over the second Black Hole onto the OD. He's gone. And now the rest of the side. Oh, that chrono onto 3. Tornado flies through them all here. This could be it for VP. They've lost 3. They've lost Yoku. He'll buy back. FNG's going to fall as well. Rapier's hit the deck. What can Yoku do? He's still got those backup rapiers. It's a lot of damage, but can he really hold this game for the good 60 seconds or so before the rest of the team goes back on Mole? Maybe with kills like that he can. Clinks has been dropped. Yoku holding on.
They can defend against
can they
Megas.
defend it? I mean, can they really hold? Can no Diggity
Yeah,
really
of
not
course they
finish
can.
this?
They got a double Rapier Ember. Of course they can defend Megas.
No, but I mean, no Diggity. Are they not able to go back in? Are they just too scared of this Ember?
Well, they get Megas. They don't want to force their Clinks to buy back.
Yeah.
So they just wait for him to respawn, and I think then they go finish.
Yeah.
Because they know that G won't have buyback even by the time the Era's alive again. So they can just walk into base with their buybacks available, all of their ultimates with refreshers up, and just guarantee finish it. Like, there's actually no reason for them to risk going high ground and losing heroes.
Casual Rapier up there.
Yeah, why not? I mean, just give it to FNG. Come on.
And as we can see, of course,
They don't even see it. It's unfortunate.
Net worth of Ember taking a huge hit after that one.
Well, sometimes when you lose 2 rapiers, you
You lose a bit of gold.
still the highest net worth after losing 2
Yeah,
rapiers.
he is. He really is. Oh. Kez, of course, he's the new proud owner of one of the rapiers.
I mean, that's actually really good for him, because he did no damage. He had BKB, Refresher, Aghanims, Blink, not a single damage item, just all control. So the Rapier is probably like one of the most valuable items that he can buy in terms of kill potential, just because of how little damage he did before. Because even having like a Daedalus or a Butterfly isn't nearly as much damage as a Rapier for him.
I mean, it really feels like we're seeing in these fights, it's so hard for VP to win them now, surely. Just because of how much no Diggity have.
There's
in terms of control.
Realistically, there's no way they can win a team fight. Like, they have to hope that the Ember like crits every single hero with a Sleight of Fist.
Yes.
They have no save for any of the ultimates. That's another big issue.
Oh, jumping in, Sin, he's in trouble, he's gonna get taken down. The chrono from Kezu, coming out to 2 low down to G, caught in it, but G got the BKB off. Sinuan does not have buyback, he will be dead for 100 seconds now. Oh, the Echo onto Kezu, the control as well. They want to get the Rapier back, and they're gonna get it. He's gone. The Void is down, in fact, they'll leave the Rapier there, just get pinged out. They're aware of this one. But they are doing it, VP, they are showing us that this game is not over yet.
What is actually happening right now? He's like swapping rapiers for other rapiers. He's like,
this one's a bit damaged. The durability's dropping. Ah, this one's better. It's better fit.
you can't pick it up with the courier, bro. You have to take it back to base.
Oh, Yoku.
You can't.
Come on.
You can't pick it up with the courier,
Oh,
dude.
In before pause and sorry guys.
Just
bug.
bot back to base and leave a remnant and pick it up.
Go on, Yoku. You can do it.
He doesn't
Come on, son.
understand. He's like, is the game bugged or something?
He's just been broken. He's like, what? And
All he
Nokia's
had
like,
to do
calm down,
was
Yoku.
remnant and bot back to base and then go back. It would have been fine. Pro players not understanding rapiers. We see that quite often, actually.
I mean, Yoku's a young lad. He's probably never seen an 80-minute game.
That's true, actually. Well, 80-minute games are pretty uncommon.
Yeah. Oh, Sind. I mean, his net worth is quite impressive.
I mean, it's impressive that he actually hasn't gotten another item.
He got his BKB okay.
Okay.
It was the first time.
One step at a time.
Yeah.
I respect that. You get your BKB for the first time ever.
Oh, gee, he's been black
Oh,
hole,
wait a
but
minute, wait a minute.
Yapsor might have been a bit more often than he can chew. They will still get the kill onto G, but Yapsor plays with his life. And G does not have buyback available. 90 seconds gone, but at the same time, Yapsor might not want to expend his, so the game may still continue.
Rapier Ember, man. Always a treat.
Oh my goodness. 81 minutes into this game. I mean, this has got to be reaching on to some of the longest games in 6.86. I don't know what the stats are on that one, but I can't imagine that many has surpassed the 80-minute mark.
Yeah, this is probably one of the longest games of the patch.
And, I mean, there's no way he gets out of this one. Good fight.
That's a gem. I mean, to be honest, it doesn't really feel like gem even matters at this point because rapiers are being exchanged.
In a new
so it's
gem.
like, they don't even care. Like, yeah, whatever.
Yep.
850 gold. Pfft. I ain't even gonna drop an. Oh, Cinderin's all over that. He's like, oh, I can like double my net worth by picking up this gem. All right, boys, we're in it.
Damn.
I gotta say, whichever team wins, this has got to be the hardest $1,000 they've ever won.
It certainly has. Absolutely. $1,000. 82 minutes in.
You know, there have been days at DreamLeague where the entire played time didn't surpass this mark.
That's true. I think
We've had days where every single game was 20 minutes. Like, we should already be on our way home by now.
I was going to say, we're missing the bus tonight.
Yep.
There will be taxis for us guys here, and, well, Kazu, Invis. Let's see what he can find here. FNG jumps in, but nice reaction from Kazu. Not messing around, and we're getting back to the point where everyone's going to be back in the game.
It's going to be like all ultimates and buybacks versus
I mean,
all
let's have a look at the buyback statuses. What are we seeing for G on the OD? Is it still on cooldown? Yeah, 1 minute left. 1 minute left. FNG's just under 30 seconds, but yeah, it's pretty much this 1 minute that's big for the side of VP. Both G and Yoku are the ones waiting on that cooldown. And it looks like they're going to be fine, because I don't know if No Diggity are going to try and pressure for that. They actually just got the career on Roshan scouting that one out. Maybe they want to go for an Aegis attempt again before they start to push.
That wouldn't shock me.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, you can start giving like Aegis to Sind or, you know, whoever.
I mean, he needs it.
It really does. He's just doing what he can. I mean, Bane's not the hero that you want to go this late into the game.
It's true.
Right?
It's true. It really is.
This is a very, very long, very bloodbathy type of game.
I mean, oh man, this this game. I mean, this is brilliant. This is the kind of games that people love to see. Just, I mean, both teams, it's apparent that they're really giving it all, their all. There's no giving up from either side here. It's all guns blazing. Every fight, everyone being on top of their reactions.
It's just very tense because 80-minute games typically mean, you know, one lane gets pushed out in the enemy team's favor, they can always win. But that's kind of the issue also for VP playing against Mega, is that you're never really going to have that one lane that's pushing. So even when you win this big team fight inside of your base, you have to push a lane from your base all the way across the map in order to be able to pressure No Diggity. Which is why Mega Creeps are such a strong tool, even if you have the hero to deal with it, which Ember is probably one of the best, if not the best. But getting this lane equilibrium going VP's way is going to require winning a team fight, then pushing a lane all the way, maybe two. They can put like OD in one lane, then Ember in another, and then making No Diggity buy back, and then winning that fight too. That's how they win the game, and that is so difficult.
It really, really is. 11k surmounted again for Yoku. On top of his two rapiers. Roshan is going to be back up any second. No Diggity. They'll be sure to take it. VP, of course, no chance of them holding this one against them. They will be able to get themselves the Aegis and the cheese once more.
I mean, this is a really tanky Roshan.
Yeah,
that Roshan had 18,000 health.
Aegis is going to be given to Kazu.
It makes sense. He's pretty much the initiator at this point, so best hero to give it to. We got some Rapier Vlad's gaming here on No Fear.
Indeed. G going to be a bit annoyed that he lost that and No Fear's taking it. The sick professional game.
Oh, Krieger done. Creeps, I think, got that one, right? Or was it Quaketa?
Let's have a look what the plan is here.
We could be in for the long haul here. This Pycat walks by with some food in hand, just giving us the wave.
Oh, alright. He's going to get jumped on here, G. Oh, now he's been chronoed. He's been hexed up as well. G, he's gone. No chance for the man, but he does have buyback. He does have buyback. And he is going to need to use it. He is certainly going to need to use it here if No Diggity come in. Even harder. And let's see what the plan is. They're being very, very hesitant about this Diggity. They really know that they can't afford to make any more mistakes at this point of the game. 87 minutes in.
It's getting really tense though for VP. They're reaching that stage where, you know, No Diggity are outside of your base with pretty much all of their ultimates available, all buybacks, Aegis, cheese. They have every single thing that they need. Kezu even has the second sphere up in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So
He's not even had to pop his refresher. And Mosin, he's going straight in with the BKB. The Fiend Strip onto NoFear. NoFear will get force back. There'll be a buyback from G. And you can see at the moment, Era, he's just looking for the tier 4s. He's managed to take down one, and now Chronosphere from Kezu onto 3G. Jumps in on the backline. BKB 70 eclipse. Finds the kill. Terra. Cinema pops the G. Cinema's going to be fine. Kezu pops the BKB. The definitely lots of quite for coming through. They've found NoFear. They've found Alert. He's found FG as well. FG will buy back. So strike onto G. Hexed up. G. He's going to put himself in the Astro for the time being, but now the Ancient is under pressure. Under siege. FG jumps in with the Echo onto Quaifer. The right clicks coming through from NoFear, but Quaifer ghost walks. He's going to be able to keep himself alive. FG ghost steps us up to the tornado for Quaifer. Goes through onto Kezu, looking for the kill, gets it, FG, that's the time back, no fear, forcing Quaifer back, will find the kills, the Evoker, and still Yoku is alive, he's still holding the moment, but now it's the final black hole, onto G, Yoku X'd up, he's gone, he's done for it, GG, well played, is cool, and no Diggity take the game, 88 minutes in, but you certainly can't type in the chat at the end of that one EZ, because that was certainly not an easy game.
I think that, honestly, VP, the fact that they were able to hold on as long as they were is because of a couple of reasons. One, No Diggity's lineup, we talked about its defensive capability, but in terms of overall push, it wasn't really that good. And VP, I think, maybe just forcibly trying to go high ground a little bit too